Okay, so you want to get good. You want to not be sick. You want to not be diagnosed or misdiagnosed with all these illnesses. So there's all these viruses going around and these sicknesses going around. People getting bowel cancers and this and that. And well, if you want to be good, if you want to be healthy, you got to change or alter what you're having, what you're eating. You can't just expect to eat butter and fat all day long and crack eggs and be a fit, healthy person and run around for kilometers and be the most healthiest person on the earth. Listen, you got to quit all that. Did you know soap is made from fat? Soap, soap is made from fat. So why? And did you know fats are oils? Oil is fat. It is. They're called fatty acids. That's their names. There's unsaturated fatty acids, there's saturated fatty acids, there's monounsaturated fatty acids, there's polyunsaturated fatty acids. You've got to study what you're having, what you're putting inside your body. Most people, they eat it all day long. I guarantee you, every person that suffers from a stroke has been eating eggs and butter every morning. Hot, disgusting, slimy eggs and butter every morning waking up and eating the breakfast. I guarantee you they're all eating it. And I guarantee you they're all suffering from strokes, they're all suffering from multiple sclerosis, and they're all suffering from that motor neurons disease. I'm telling you, it corrodes the internal organs, it corrodes the nervous system. You can't expect to eat fat and survive. Your body needs protein and carbs, carbohydrates. That's what your body needs. It makes the glucose from the carbohydrates for your brain to work to give you energy so you can move and get around all day. You can't survive off fat and that for long. You're gonna be prematurely deceased. I'm telling you, you gotta try, okay? And more so, yeah, it's not all carbs are good. Not all carbohydrates are good. I guarantee if you eat pasta, you'll get bowels. Your bowels will be so sore, you'll be running off to the doctor and whinging, you have this disease, you have. It's not. That's just the effects of it. It's all the same throughout. Look, everybody's suffering. You're not a one off. Okay? You're not some special person with a fucking illness. No. Alright, it's happening to everybody. Okay, and you've got to get right and study out the people out there who are healthy that's not happening to. The countries look where that doesn't happen. A lot of them are in poverty, but it still doesn't happen to them, but they're suffering on another level. Okay? Everybody needs to come up together here. All right? So, yeah, so protein and carbs. You know, if you're going to have fat, I would say have a little bit of fat, but have it from a proper source. Quit denouncing all the time these flour seeds. Maybe they're not good, but don't you think they'll be less worse than milking an animal for its milk and stealing its milk? Are you a thief? You want to be a thief. You want to be known as a thief, renowned as a thief. We are to me if you're doing that, okay? And you're very much a weird person to me. And I can pick it up. And everybody's on it. And I'm constantly all around people and watching what I have to to you know to 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 ensure that doesn't that them people they don't come to me, okay? And if you are one of those people, yeah, and you're around me, just think about that. That I know what you're up to, okay? I'm not an idiot. I know your every little conspiracy, okay? What else? Fucking what else? Yeah, protein. You can't just expect that every single protein is going to be healthy either. Why is people going around saying that people that eat chicken or that they eat animals, that they eat all animals? Like I eat only chicken. That's the only thing I consider food. I don't consider those horned creatures as food. There's devil food. They got the horns for a reason why. Or in the Holy Scriptures, if you've ever put some effort into life, into wanting to find answers rather than going around as if you know everything already, not serious. All right, think about it. All right, think about meaning and why those books are there from all that long ago. The people who authored those books, they're still on the shelf selling more than anybody. You think about it. Think about why they're out there in such regard. that they're ruling from all the way back then, thousands and thousands of years ago. They're talking like the stories go back 6,000 years longer. See, have you ever looked at them? Have you ever saw what's going on in there? Well, I'll give you the rundown because I have, and I'll tell you, the only food they're being told to eat in those scriptures are those horned creatures. And if you look at all the suffering they go through in all them stories in all those books, you see it's obvious. It's not going to give you, it's not going to tell you exactly what to do. It's going to give you a clue, but you've got to be able to see what's going on to get a clue, to know what, to get it. But most people don't. They go around and try to mimic the stories in there, and they say, oh, because it's in the Bible, then I'm allowed to do it. No, it doesn't work that way, okay? You're meant to look at the example it's showing there and learn from the mistakes of the people and see, you already meant to know what's right and what's wrong. If you're going around, you're saying, oh, because the Bible says so, then obviously you don't know what's right and you don't know what's wrong. Why don't you know automatically what's right and what's wrong? It's obvious what it is to be human. Well, you don't know what's going on, but there's a deeper meaning, all right, that most people they're not tuned into. Something that I realised a while ago that I said, hang on a minute, is what this is actually trying to say here? Okay, that these people, is that what happened to them? The author, he's trying to relate something. He's trying to say beware because this is what happened to them. They weren't fucking good people. They weren't angels. It says the angels lost the way and got cast to the earth and to the hell and became despicable people. All right, so just think about that and the stories I went through and whether it's okay for you to say that because this person done it in the Bible, it's okay for me to do it or for you to do it. No, it's not okay to do it. Okay, so those animals, beware. All right, and if you have it, be lean about it. Don't be try to be healthy about it. You got your recommended intake. You're not meant to have. What's appropriate and what's not appropriate. And just try to have something different. Just try to do that so your body can heal, so you won't be misdiagnosed or go running off to the doctor, having to whinge to the doctor as if this doctor's going to know everything about what you're going to do. And everyone's being pumped with these vaccines. See the babies in the USA, they're pumping like over 70 injections or something, all these vaccines. What is that? What rational person would say that that's okay to do to a person? Serious, there would not be one, right? Not one, but there's these, it's what's irrational. They're irrational people. That's who's doing it. They're irresponsible. Okay, the rational person says, no, 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 no. Just leave that baby alone. And if you really want to do something, all right, well, then the most ancient medical procedure, the most ancient in all books, that's been done for thousands and thousands of years to every civilized nations is circumcision. So why are you going a vaccine over a circumcision for? You think about it and think about if you're being just in that respect. All right, and have you studied vaccines? Have you studied vaccines to know what they are? To know what the contradiction is here? Do you know all these drugs? Why is it that you settle for saying that there's something wrong with you, so you need a tablet or some drugs, and that there's no way you can make it better, and you continue having drugs, and you still feel the same, but you just have the drugs all the time to mask the effects, but you're not healing from anything. You think that's all right? Everybody's that way. Everybody done the vaccines in the COVID. Everybody. I know a couple of people. One person that said no. Now there are a few people on that said no. I'm one of those people. Okay, and I'm not happy or a bit angered that I was vaccinated at school with the flu vaccine, and I remember when I was a baby, they put it in my, they put in my ass, they put in my glutes, the fucking needle in my ass. Fucking, I cried. It was fucking hurt. It was fucking sore. So, you know, it's bad. And there's proof that it is bad. You got to understand that there's bad people out there. And they're everywhere. They're in that medical field. They got these, what's meant to be a job. It's not really a job to them. It's for the cash. It's for the dollars. There's no meaning to it. And that's mostly to everybody these days. And that's why everybody went and got the shot. If you went and got the shot because you're trying to be a hero, well, don't you really think you better do your study before you do something instead of putting your life in the hands of these imbeciles and the children and putting masks on them all day as if there's something floating around airborne in the air? But you never tested the air. And why are people testing people anyway? Why you got to go around testing people for with all these tests for? Why? Why are you doing it? Why is